Ladies and gentlemen, friends, dreamers, and achievers, today is the day you make the decision that will change your life. The moment when you stop settling for the weak version of yourself and decide to unleash the true power that lies dormant within you. We all have a version of ourselves that we've accepted, a version that's comfortable, that doesn't challenge us and is content with mediocrity. But that version, that weak version, it's holding you back. It's holding your dreams, your potential, and your greatness hostage. You know the version I'm talking about. It's the version that tells you to take the easy route, to avoid discomfort, to stay within your comfort zone. The version that gets distracted, procrastinates, makes excuses, and keeps waiting for tomorrow. Tomorrow will never come. And that weak version of yourself, it's not who you were meant to be. Growth does not happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you step out into the unknown, when you face challenges that push you beyond what you thought you were capable of. Embracing discomfort is the key to unlocking your true potential, and yet so many of us avoid it. We avoid discomfort because it's uncomfortable, because it feels risky and unfamiliar. But the truth is, the path to success, the path to becoming the best version of yourself, requires you to embrace the very discomfort you try to escape. Think about the most significant achievements in your life. They likely didn't come easily. Whether it was a personal goal, a career milestone, or a major accomplishment, those moments were not born from doing what felt safe or comfortable. They were born from a willingness to endure discomfort, to face the fears and doubts that arose along the way. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who shy away from difficult situations. They are the ones who lean into them, who tackle the challenges head on, and who push through the pain, frustration, and self-doubt. Comfort is the enemy of growth. It keeps you stagnant, complacent, and blind to the possibilities that exist beyond the familiar. When you stay in your comfort zone, you create a bubble around yourself. And that bubble limits your potential. Inside that bubble, everything is predictable, everything is safe, but nothing extraordinary ever happens in safety. Nothing that leaves a lasting impact on the world, nothing that truly changes your life comes from staying comfortable. Think about the process of physical training. When you first start a new workout regimen, your muscles experience pain, strain, and fatigue. But without that initial discomfort, without that moment of pushing past your limits, you won't see any progress. Your muscles have to tear down and rebuild in order to grow stronger. This same concept applies to every area of life. If you want to grow intellectually, emotionally, or spiritually, you have to face discomfort. You have to go through the difficult moments that challenge you, force you to confront your weaknesses, and push you to become more than what you were yesterday. If you avoid discomfort, you avoid growth. If you keep choosing the easy way out, you keep running away from the very thing that could propel you forward. The next time you feel the urge to quit, the next time something feels too hard or too overwhelming, remember that this is the moment of transformation. This is the moment that could shape your future, that could take you to new heights. But only if you choose to embrace it instead of running from it. Discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong, it's a sign that something is right. It's the signal that you are pushing yourself to become something more. The greatest achievements in life do not come from avoiding the hard work. They come from leaning into it with everything you've got. When you begin to see discomfort as a stepping stone, as a necessary part of the journey, you will change the way you approach challenges. In fact, discomfort should become your friend. It should no longer be something you fear, but something you anticipate. When you feel that tension, that push against your limits, recognize it for what it is, an opportunity for growth. Each uncomfortable moment is a chance to get stronger, to get better, to get closer to the person you are meant to become. The more you embrace discomfort, the more comfortable you will become with the uncomfortable, and the greater the rewards will be. You will find that what once seemed impossible is now within your reach. You will discover capabilities within yourself that you never knew existed, and ultimately you will realize that the discomfort you once feared was the very thing that unlocked your true potential. Excuses are the chains that hold you back from reaching your full potential. They may seem like harmless justifications at first, but over time they accumulate and create a barrier between where you are and where you want to be. Every excuse you make is a step further from your goals, a moment lost in the cycle of inaction. The moment you allow excuses to take control, you stop living for the future you dream of and start living in the comfort of your current limitation. We all have a natural tendency to make excuses. It's human nature. We make excuses because facing the reality of hard work, sacrifice, and discomfort can be intimidating. It's easier to say, I'm too busy, it's not the right time, or I'm not ready yet, than to actually take the necessary steps to make progress. But the harsh truth is that there will never be a perfect time to start. There will never be an absence of obstacles. And there will never be a version of yourself that's entirely ready. Waiting for these conditions is a recipe for stagnation. Making excuses is a defense mechanism. It's a way of protecting yourself from the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, and the fear of being uncomfortable. But what's even scarier than failure? Regret. The regret of never trying, the regret of looking back and realizing you allowed excuses to keep you from your potential, the regret of wondering, what if I had just taken that first step? The reality is that excuses are not rooted in truth. They are just stories we tell ourselves to avoid the discomfort of taking action. When you tell yourself, I don't have enough time, what you're really saying is, I'm not willing to prioritize what matters. When you tell yourself, I don't have enough resources, you're choosing to ignore the countless examples of people who started with far less and made it work. Excuses are ways to shift the blame to something outside of you, circumstances, other people, or even luck, when in fact, you are the only one with the power to change your situation. Every time you make an excuse, you are giving away your power. You are handing over control of your life to the very thing you are trying to avoid. You let external factors dictate your ability to succeed. But here's the truth. External factors don't determine your success. Your mindset, your discipline, and your willingness to take action in the face of obstacles do. Breaking free from the grip of excuses requires you to take ownership of your choices and actions. It means being honest with yourself about what's truly standing in your way and realizing that more often than not, it's your own hesitation, fear, and doubts. When you stop making excuses, you start making decisions that align with your vision for your future. You stop finding reasons why it's not possible and start finding ways to make it happen. It's not about being perfect. It's about taking consistent, intentional steps forward. It's about breaking down your goals into manageable actions and refusing to let anything get in your way. When you make the decision to stop making excuses, you open up a world of possibilities. You begin to see opportunities instead of obstacles. You stop seeing challenges as roadblocks and start seeing them as opportunities to learn, grow, and become stronger. The truth is, every moment you spend making excuses is a moment you could have spent building the life you want. Every time you push your dreams aside because of an excuse, you are giving away a piece of your future. The only way to overcome the fear of failure, the fear of not being good enough, is to take action despite it. Every small step you take, no matter how imperfect or uncertain, moves you closer to your goals. If you want to create the life you've always imagined, you have to stop making excuses and start making progress. You have to choose to show up every day, even when it's hard. You have to choose to act in spite of your doubts. The only thing that stands between where you are now and where you want to be is the decision to stop making excuses. That decision is the turning point. And when you make it, nothing can stop you. True potential is not something that's given to you. It's something you have to actively unlock. You will never discover what you are truly capable of unless you push beyond the limits you've set for yourself. Every person has a set of personal boundaries, limits they believe they can't surpass. These boundaries may come from past experiences, self-doubt, or the conditioning of society, but they are not the truth of who you are. The truth is that your potential has no limits. The limits are simply the ones you impose on yourself. To push past your limits, you first need to recognize that these boundaries are not permanent, They are only barriers that you've accepted as truths because they feel comfortable, because they feel safe. The hardest part of overcoming limits is breaking the belief that you are confined to your current capabilities. The moment you accept that you can do more than you think, you begin the process of expanding what's possible. It's not about waiting for permission or hoping for an opportunity. It's about taking the first step toward the unfamiliar, the unknown, and doing it with the belief that you are capable of overcoming anything in your way. Pushing past limits means challenging the voice inside your head that tells you, this is enough, this is all you can do, don't try for more. It's easy to accept the limits placed on you, whether they come from external expectations or your own doubts. But the greatest achievements in life have always come from people who didn't settle for good enough. Instead, they sought out the extraordinary, and in doing so, they discovered just how much more they were capable of achieving. There is no magic moment where your potential is unlocked without effort. It's through consistent and determined action, through repeatedly testing your limits and proving to yourself that you are capable of more, that you gradually realize the depth of your abilities. When you push past your limits, you enter the realm of growth. You step into a space where the impossible becomes possible, where challenges transform into opportunities, and where failure is not a setback but a lesson. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing what you've never done before. Every time you stretch your boundaries, you grow stronger, more confident, and more resilient. It's like building muscle. Each effort, each challenge adds to your strength, and over time, the limits you once believed existed no longer feel like barriers, but simply stepping stones on your path. It's easy to look at others and believe that their success comes from an innate ability to overcome their limits, but the truth is that they too had to face their own boundaries and push through them. What sets successful people apart is their willingness to take that step, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it seems impossible. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They create the conditions through their determination and willingness to try. Your limits are not fixed, they are fluid. Each time you push past them, you redefine what is possible for you. The more you challenge yourself, the more you understand that your potential is not defined by your current circumstances or the obstacles you face. Your potential is defined by your willingness to keep moving forward, to keep learning, to keep pushing when it's easier to give up. The more you push, the more you realize that the boundaries you once thought were unbreakable are simply the stepping stones that lead to the next level of your life. Don't let the fear of the unknown or the comfort of the familiar hold you back from breaking through your limits. Your true potential lies in the places you've yet to explore, in the challenges you haven't yet faced. Every limit you push past is a reminder that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. And as you keep moving forward, you will discover that the only real limit is the one you place on yourself. Success is not just about talent or intelligence. It's about consistency, discipline, and relentless perseverance. The most successful people in the world didn't get to where they are by taking shortcuts or hoping for things to fall into place. They didn't rely on luck or wait for the perfect circumstances to show up. They became who they are by showing up every single day, doing the work, even when they didn't feel like it, even when the road got tough, and even when they faced obstacles that seemed insurmountable. Success is built on the foundation of relentless effort, the unwavering commitment to keep moving forward regardless of setbacks. Consistency is the key that separates those who achieve their goals from those who don't. It's easy to be motivated when things are going well, when the sun is shining and when the results are immediately visible. But motivation fades, and the true test of your potential is how committed you are when the excitement dies down, when the work gets monotonous, and when it feels like you're not making progress. It's in those moments of doubt when you want to quit that discipline comes into play. Discipline is what keeps you showing up, even when you're tired, even when you're discouraged, even when it feels like your efforts are going unnoticed. It's the ability to stay focused on the long-term vision and to continue pushing forward, knowing that every small step you take is bringing you closer to your goal. Relentless perseverance is about refusing to give up, even when the odds are stacked against you. It's about having the strength to rise after every fall and the courage to keep going even when the outcome is uncertain. There will always be obstacles in your way, always be moments when things don't go according to plan, but it's in those moments that your perseverance is tested. You may stumble, you may face failure, and you may experience disappointment, but none of that means you should quit. In fact, failure is an integral part of the journey. It's a stepping stone, not a roadblock. It's through failure that you learn, grow, and improve. It's through facing challenges that you become stronger, more resilient, and more determined to succeed. The key is not to fear failure, but to embrace it as a natural part of the process and to keep moving forward in spite of it. Perseverance also means being adaptable, being able to adjust your approach when necessary. The path to success is rarely a straight line. It's full of detours, twists, and unexpected challenges. If you're going to be successful, you need to be flexible enough to adapt to changing circumstances while still staying focused on your ultimate goal. Success is not just about having a dream or a plan. It's about being willing to adapt your strategy, your approach, and even your mindset when things don't go as expected. Sometimes success comes not from following the original plan, but from being able to pivot, adjust, and keep moving forward with determination. Relentless effort also means taking personal responsibility for your actions. It means understanding that your success or failure is in your hands, that the only person who can truly hold you back is you. Too many people make excuses, blaming others or external circumstances for their lack of progress. But the reality is that you are the one in control of your actions. Your habits, your decisions, and your mindset are what determine your success. If you are committed to showing up consistently, to doing the work, and to maintaining the discipline to keep going, you will eventually reach your goals. It's not about waiting for things to align perfectly. It's about taking action, staying disciplined, and keeping the momentum going, even when things seem difficult. The most successful people are those who refuse to stop. They are relentless in their pursuit of their dreams. They are disciplined enough to stay on course no matter the hurdles they face, and they are persistent enough to push through every obstacle no matter how challenging. Relentless effort is what turns dreams into reality and what separates those who make it from those who fall short. If you want to achieve your true potential, you need to embrace this mindset of relentless commitment. Show up every day, put in the work, and keep going even when things get tough. Procrastination is the silent thief of time, a habit that steals your future by keeping you stuck in the present. It whispers to you that there's always another day, another chance, another opportunity to start. But the truth is that tomorrow is never guaranteed. If you keep waiting for the perfect time to take action, you will find yourself caught in a cycle of endless delay, and your dreams will remain out of reach. The key to overcoming procrastination is understanding that the best time to act is always now. When you procrastinate, you are essentially choosing inaction over progress. You are putting off the work that needs to be done, not because you lack the ability or the resources, but because you are letting fear, doubt, and uncertainty control your decisions. The idea of starting something difficult, challenging, or new can seem overwhelming, but the truth is that waiting only makes the task seem harder. The longer you delay, the more complicated the task becomes in your mind, and the more you avoid it. The longer you wait to take that first step, the further away your goals get. Procrastination is a vicious cycle. It keeps you stuck, constantly thinking about what you need to do, but never taking the action required to make it happen. One of the biggest reasons people procrastinate is the fear of failure. The thought of not succeeding, of falling short of your expectations can be paralyzing. But the reality is that failure is not something to fear. It's something to learn from. Every successful person has experienced failure, and it's through those failures that they were able to grow, improve, and eventually succeed. The fear of failure only holds power over you if you allow it to. By taking action in spite of your fear, you rob procrastination of its power. When you choose to act despite the uncertainty, you take the first step toward overcoming the barriers that are keeping you from reaching your true potential. Another reason we procrastinate is the belief that we need to be in the perfect mindset or the right circumstances to begin. We often convince ourselves that we need more time, better resources, or clearer direction before we can take action. But waiting for the perfect conditions only delays progress. There will never be a perfect moment to start. Life is unpredictable and conditions are rarely ideal. If you keep waiting for everything to align perfectly, you will never begin. The key is to start where you are with what you have and trust that the rest will fall into place as you move forward. Taking the first step, no matter how small, is the most important thing you can do to break free from procrastination. Procrastination is also a result of poor time management. We often overestimate how much time we have and underestimate how much time tasks will take. We believe we can fit it in later, but the truth is that time doesn't wait for anyone. It's easy to get distracted by short-term pleasures or less important tasks, but every moment you spend avoiding what truly matters is a moment you can never get back. The most successful people are those who make the most of their time. They understand that time is their most valuable asset, and they make conscious decisions to use it wisely. By focusing on what's important and taking immediate action, you begin to prioritize your goals and eliminate distractions that would otherwise keep you from making progress. One way to combat procrastination is to break tasks into smaller, more manageable pieces. When a task seems overwhelming, it's easy to put it off, but if you break it down into smaller steps, you can tackle it piece by piece, making it feel more achievable. Start with something simple, and once you begin, you'll find that the momentum builds. The first step is often the hardest, but once you take it, the rest will follow more easily. Every small win you achieve will give you the confidence to keep going, and soon the task that once seemed impossible will be completed. The key to overcoming procrastination is to take responsibility for your time and your actions. Recognize that the only thing standing between you and your goals is the decision to act. Stop waiting for the right moment, stop looking for the perfect conditions, and stop making excuses. The best time to start is always right now. The longer you wait, the further away your goals will seem and the more you will fall behind. But when you take action today, you set yourself on a path to success. Every moment you delay is a moment you could have used to move closer to your potential.